Alright, so today we are finding slope and y-intercept, and you'll end up having to graph in your homework. But the first thing I want to talk about is when I'm giving you an equation and I want you to be able to just find the slope and y-intercept for that, because those are the things that you need in order to graph. So if we're starting off with this equation, 5x minus 7y equals 14, well, your whole goal is to isolate y. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. So I have negative 7y equals negative 5x plus 14. So then again we're isolating y, so I'm going to divide by negative 7. So y equals, when I divide two negatives it becomes a positive 5/7 x, and then 14 divided by negative 7 is negative 2. So now that it's in y equals form, I can go ahead and label each thing. So my slope is the number with the x, so that's 5/7. And my y-intercept is the number by itself, so that would be negative 2. So there, both of those are identified, so if I wanted to graph, I would start at negative 2 on the y-axis, and then from there go up 5/7, and you'd be good to go. Alright, so next we bring up parallel and perpendicular. Whenever we're talking about parallel lines, they have to have the same slope in order for them to never cross. Perpendicular lines have the opposite, which means your sign changes. So from positive to negative or negative to positive, and reciprocal means you take that number and you're going to flip it. So example 2, I want to write the equation of a line passing through this point, 5, negative 3, and it needs to be perpendicular to y equals 4x plus 1. So if I look at this slope, my slope is 4 to begin with. Okay, well I want it to be perpendicular to that. So if I look at the perpendicular, which that upside down T means perpendicular, I'm going to take the opposite, so it was positive, now it's negative, and I'm going to take the reciprocal, so it was technically over 1, so reciprocal would be 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to be using this new slope because I want it to be perpendicular, and this point, and I'm going to write the equation. So I have a point and a slope, I'm going to use point and slope form. So y minus negative 3, so y plus 3 equals negative 1/4 x minus 5. Alright, and then we can keep going. So y plus 3 equals negative 1/4 x plus, if I multiply those, that would be 5/4. And I still don't have y by itself, so I'm going to subtract 3. So I have y equals negative 1/4 x, and let's see, minus 7/4. If you go ahead, you can do that by getting a common denominator and go ahead and combine, or by using a calculator. On your homework, you're going to have to graph these, so if you're having trouble graphing with the fractions, go ahead and put this in y equals and go to your table and find points that you can plot that are whole numbers to make it simpler. Alright, example 3, I want to write the equation of the line passing through this point to 4, and this time parallel. So in this case, my slope is 4, so if it's parallel, I'm just going to use that same slope. Okay, that's what you need to use for that. So again, I'm going to use point slope because that's what I'm given. So I'm going to have y minus 4 equals, and that 4 comes from this point, my slope times x minus x1, which is 2. Okay, go ahead and distribute. So when I distribute, I get 4x minus 8. And then we want y by itself, so I'm going to add 4. So in the end, I get y equals 4x minus 4. So there is that. Alright. So I hope that was helpful. Remember, parallel lines have the same slope, perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal. Here is the assignment for this. Again, if you have any questions, please come see me before or after school, and I can hopefully help you. Alright, thank you.